Rudy Giuliani fell down. Okay.
Mm. Hello, everyone. Welcome to It's Sybil. I am Sybil Wilkes, and sorry for the delay, a little technical difficulty there, but we are here nonetheless. Hello, Cameron. How are you?
Hello, Sybil. Hello, Med. Happy to be back. How are you all doing?
And things go well on your trek across the country?
Oh, yeah. Road trip was absolutely fantastic. Shout out to my mom and my sister and my father for just breaking it up into three 12-hour chunks. Made some stops and made some overnights in Tennessee, Oklahoma City, and Arizona. And then we took it all the way from Virginia to Los Angeles. Quinn
Wow.
likes Los Angeles. I don't. It looks like there's like a permanent film of dirt over the whole city.
That's
Uh,
smog.
it's almost like you can
But
just
it
like rub your
clears
finger
up.
off
It
the.
clears up as the day goes on, right? Not enough for
Not really.
you.
Not really. Okay.
Certainly not by
No,
that look on your face.
I mean I'm just spoiled. But
Have you
yeah,
have you have you spent any time in LA?
I have not. That was my first time there. So
And
um
sounds like it may be your last.
Man.
no, I'll go back to visit my sister, and I think that's pretty much it.
And by then, she will know the town and you will fall in love with it.
Oh, I don't know if
I,
I'll
I
make
lived
that.
in Los Angeles for a couple of
Oh,
years. Yolanda and I were roommates, and she was working at BET, and I was still doing the radio thing. And the only downside to that was that I went to work at 3 o'clock in the
I'm about to
morning.
say that 3 o'clock in the
I
morning.
see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and went
Hmm.
on the air at 3. So
Yep.
getting up or as
No,
Yolanda said,
no.
why don't you just
You
stay
didn't
up
go to
all night?
bed.
That
You didn't go to
yeah,
bed.
that was her
You didn't
suggestion.
go to bed. No. I'm gonna get up at 1 o'clock in the morning. What?
Right, right, yeah,
No, you're working an overnight shift, is what you're
right,
doing.
right. And having done that,
Oh,
I understood what that was like too.
Exactly.
But I
That's what
really,
that was.
looking back on it, I really enjoyed it, and it was at a really uh, a changeable period of time. It was right after 9/11. And
hmm.
this was at a time where traffic is always drive
Purple.
time, even at 3 o'clock in the morning. And and people are just rude and they're honking and they're driving and eating and talking on the phone and right after 9/11, the whole attitude of the town changed and people became a little nicer, a little more open, and they would let you in, and that didn't last long, but for that period of time,
It's good.
it was nice. It was like living in Dallas, except Dallas is now more like LA.
Right.
But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed living in the valley and all of that. I hope that you will go back and partake of some of the fun things that
Yeah,
it.
LA is interesting because it's funny enough. It's like the one place my wife would love to live
Hmm.
after visiting there. And I'm like, the last time we went, we got to kind of drive around a little bit. So, it's amazing how you can go from Beverly Hills to all of a sudden you're in the hills and there's
Hmm.
trees and it's woods and all of a sudden you come out of the woods and all of a sudden, oh, we're at the beach.
Right. Yeah. And you look
Hmm.
over to your left, and you're like, that's the Pacific
That's,
Ocean
I
over
mean,
there.
I did a 45-minute drive, and I'm just like, how did we end up here from where we were at
Right.
45 minutes ago? It's like you went through three different, just totally different places
And in another hour or two, you could have your skis on and
in the
and
mountains. It's
yeah,
crazy,
yeah,
and
Hmm.
so it all depends on where you're at. If you're talking about downtown LA, yes,
yeah,
Cameron, you're exactly right of what that place is,
yeah,
and even parts of Hollywood. It's just like,
yeah.
yeah, but there's so many pockets around Los Angeles that you could really enjoy. And I've spent time in Sacramento, and I'm like, Sacramento is the Uber suburb
Of
Hmm.
California.
of
Yeah,
California. It's like
yeah.
I'm like, this is so suburban out here. This is like California can give you whatever the heck you want.
And
Hmm.
just imagine those Sacramento Kings that would come there and go, "Where the black people at?"
It is. Yes, very much so.
So we'll make lists of places for you to go and maybe some vegan foods for you to try. But
We have plenty of that.
I do hope, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of that there.
So you didn't run out of places to try and to
Mm-mm.
eat, right?
By the time I got there, all I wanted was to
To
just
go
try
home.
the just try the pizza and go
Oh,
home.
okay.
Yeah.
Try the pizza from Pizza Town.
From Pizza Town is the name of the place.
No. From living in Pizza Town, all you wanted to do was try
Yes.
pizza in LA.
Yes.
Yeah,
Just like my wife. She says whenever she goes to a new city, she wants to find the hood.
Well, then you go find the Chinese for a good Thai place.
She's like, I got to compare it. Got to see what it's up.
I enjoy, except the cost of living is much more expensive than,
And the taxes.
yeah, and let's not forget that as well. So there is that. So there's the up, the down, and the all around of living in California. But I do hope you'll go back and have a good time, and one of those like, man, I can't wait to get back here kind of experiences. And and whatever her name is, I wish her luck. So let's talk about this little program here. Damon is started his traveling mode, and so it's the three of us today. And with that, let's talk about the What You Need to Know newsletter. This is our Monday through Friday effort to super serve, to inform and empower the African American community with stories that we do, not only about Black people, but how the story may not even include Black people per se directly, but it does affect us in a lot of ways. And so Khameron is our political contributor, and Khameron has has come up with a story that that affected this Black person for sure, and that was about a hacking that took place at AT&T. What happened?
I had no idea that that it had hit so close to home, Sybil. But
Yeah. And I
um,
was writing the. I'll tell you about that when you finish. Go ahead.
oh, okay. There were some hackers who had acquired nearly all of AT&T's cell phone user data, just via this application called Snowflake that has the ability to basically just like data mine large amounts of databases from the cloud. And it seems that records of calls and texts have been obtained. And you can imagine what type of over those. AT&T isn't really offering any additional identity theft protection, but you can visit their data incident page to see if your data was included in the leak. Also, just as a general protection for yourself, if you are an AT&T customer, you should change all your usernames and passwords, enter two-factor authentication, probably change your cell phone number as well. It is just, these hacks are becoming a lot more frequent, which is completely unreasonable for a company of that size. But there are things you can do to protect yourself.
Was it fair for us to believe that it was just our texts and our phone calls, that nothing else in terms of our privacy and our social security numbers, our banking accounts, and all that kind of stuff was also hacked by these snowflake people?
I would think that, like any mega corporation, AT&T is just playing it close to the chest. There were probably much other. I mean, just even thinking of the things that you share in text messages and phone calls between loved ones. I mean, like that could be just absolutely horrendous in and of itself. There was also a story that came out not too long ago that AT&T had paid hackers in the past $400,000 in ransom money to receive customer data back. Sometimes hackers will seize companies' data assets and then charge corporations to get access to it back. And so AT&T has record of negotiating with these like cyber terrorists before, because they're clearly incompetent at preventing these kinds of breaches.
If you are in the technology business, what
I know, right?
would stop you from trying to do better in keeping your technology to yourself and away from the bad guys? What?
Yeah, like why
Very
instead
frustrating.
pay like a king's ransom or a president's ransom. 400,000. That's how much the president makes in
Right.
a
Right.
year, to free up someone's data instead of actually trying to keep customers' data safe. That's
How about that?
yeah. Yep. Oh man.
We have gotten to a point now where these hacks and these breaches of privacy happens to a big corporate. It happened to Verizon, if I remember correctly,
Hmm.
a few years back. You know, I work with a company, Sybil, that got attacked by.
Yeah.
And let me tell you that being on that end, where you where you see how it affects everything and how
Mhm.
they can shut everything down.
Right.
I was like, yo, this, like, it literally wiped out everything we had.
Yeah.
And we had to rebuild. And it's my biggest complaint when it comes to not just corporation, this country. My biggest complaint is that we are so surface level. We can't see past 2 years, it seems like sometimes.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, the biggest threat to this country is not some of the things you guys are talking about. These things that are happening to us, these ransomwares, the stuff that's happening with technology, AI, everything that we're building up is going to be a huge problem down the road. And we need to shore that up. We need laws, we need bills, we need all this stuff to protect ourselves, to protect this country, to secure everything that we have in this country that's behind, technology, which we're going.
Right.
I'm like, another country can attack us that way easily.
Mhm.
Cyber attack.
I mean, look at what Russia has done and what they've managed to do.
And that's just see, look here. The thing that Russia's done to us is all off of just lying.
Yeah.
That's just lying, send false information out there,
Right.
and gets people riled up. We haven't talked about cyber attacks and shutting down, electricity and knocking out power and shutting down internet. We're not even talking about that.
Yeah, we
we're
just depend upon weather to do that. We don't have to worry about the Russians
Right.
coming in. And doing it.
But like I said, I just feel like the country is ill prepared for moving in that direction, and we need to be. But no one's really talking about that. They're more so worried about the Mexicans coming across the border.
Yeah, and that's really
Taking the black
endangering-
jobs.
Yeah, and and really endangering our security there. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Khameron, you mentioned a couple of things. You said the two-factor authorization, authentication or authorization.
Yeah.
I know I don't do that, so I know I should.
Oh, well, that's a two-factor authentic. You can just think of that as you go to a club and a bouncer not only asks you for your ID, but also asks you for like the secret club password. So it's when you like log into Facebook, for instance, and you type in your password, but then they'll also text your phone like a security code to make sure that it's actually you. That way, the only way anyone's getting into your personal stuff is if they have access to like your actual phone number.
Yeah.
Right? So
Oh,
I was gonna say, so phones are really just becoming the central point of just like the central point of all of our personal information, if you host it there anyway. And if you are an AT&T customer, you change your phone number and then set up two-factor authentication. And then
changing the phone number.
I will tell you, I've had this number for the better part of 25, 30 years.
Yeah, when Khameron said that, I'm like, we're gonna bypass that.
Yeah.
What's the other? I was like,
what are the other things?
What's other options? No, I can't do that. No, but the thing is, but Khameron, you're right though. I like what Microsoft does. So if you use Outlook or anything like that, or any Microsoft product, if you have an Xbox or whatever, their thing, it can be annoying depending, but it's like if I ever want to use Outlook, I have to go to my phone after I type in my password. I then have to go to my phone and it has the authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator, which then it scans my face and then gives me a number, and I have to put the number in my phone. And once I put the number in my phone, it then opens up Microsoft to do what it needs to do. It like when it comes to when I worked at iHeart, and now when I came back, because they added it when I came back to to Radio One Reach Media. It's annoying, but it's necessary. And whenever you see any of your password and they ask you, do you want a two-step authentication?
Thank
you. That word was eating my ass up. Thank you very much. Go ahead and do it. Whether it be just when you try to put your password in, it sends you a text message, that kind of stuff. Also, when you're on other computers at work, don't make your work computer a computer that has access and that it is okay for it to save everything on that computer. Yeah. Don't do that. So that's my main thing when it comes to this. You need to be overly, especially when you're at work, we get comfortable at work and we have our work computers and we're on our computers, so we think we're good. But if these hacks happen in your company, no, it gets all of that. So go ahead and put your, authenticate.
That's the two-factor
authentication. Yes.
Thank you.
Yolanda, can you give us Michelle her comment? Michelle in Summerall on Facebook. Yes, it's annoying, and if you get distracted, it times out. Hi. Oh, look over there. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So it's a way to keep yourself as safe as possible. Again, annoying because I'd be like, I don't get my especially when your phone's not on you.
Yeah.
You're just like, our phone's downstairs. You know what? I'll check that email tomorrow.
Yeah, I get it.
Before we wrap this up, Khameron, also give us a peek, if you would, with tomorrow's newsletter story for yourself. And I wouldn't say that it's on a happier note, but it is something that everybody's talking about, and that's the recent assassination attempt.
Yeah, so just new details are forthcoming as the FBI investigates the assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump. It seems that the assailant, now deceased 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks, who scaled a roof 200 yards from the stage, he actually scaled a roof where snipers were positioned.
Underneath the roof, like inside the building.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Snipers were already there. Civilians had reported of a suspicious man scaling a roof, and local authorities ignored those calls. Not to mention, civilians also warned police moments before the shooting, and those warnings went unanswered as well. So everyone's just wondering where things actually went wrong, and it's just
everything.
Yes. When everything goes all wrong,
everything went wrong. And I know we have to go, Sybil, but my main thing is right now you have Republicans calling this the DEI stuff. You have DEI stuff, but they're calling that, and then you have Democrats calling it staged.
Right.
So it's like everyone's blaming something on this. So
and heads are going to roll because that makes the little congressman like Comer feel better and say, we're going to get behind this as a head of oversight, and Republicans have taken enough. Well, okay, do what you can, dude. But in the meantime, somebody let this little pimple-faced boy into the whole barnyard and with a ladder. And I'm not laughing. It's just real ridiculous.
It's ridiculous because when you look at the sky, going down, I'm like, that is probably the only building you should have been watching. Like it was like when I looked at when you look at the map, I'm like
around and you look
like that building should have been covered. I was like, I could have been like, I don't know nothing about security. I'm like, have somebody on that building right there because it's like right there, and it looks right there,
closest to us.
Was like, what are we doing? That's why people think it's staged. This is why people think that there's a conspiracy, because it's got to be the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Because anybody could have seen that's probably a problem building right there. You need to have that covered.
Nobody saw that except for the people who were there for the Trump
and all the phone cameras. Everybody caught it, but it's wild. It's the dumbest thing in the world.
It is crazy, absolutely crazy. Well, thank you, Cameron, for those two stories and updates. If you would like to subscribe to the newsletter, we'd love to have you. Please go to SybilWilkes.com, give us your name and your email address, and we'll have it in your email box every Monday through Friday. If you're having difficulties, still go to SybilWilkes.com, and if you checked your spam or your junk file and nothing's there, then give us well, if you're if you are of a mind to, if your internet service is not interrupted, you go to SybilWilkes.com and let us know what the problem is. And we have good people who can help you get past that. And or if you change your email address because they got to you, whatever it is, somebody will be there. We have a Crackerjack team of one to help you.
Crackerjack team of one.
She is. She is. She's Crackerjack. So let's move to what's really going on. Today is the first of the 2 Amazon Prime days this month, right?
Oh, nice.
And if you're an Amazon Prime member, and this Prime Day was yours, so let's just go with me here. Is there one item you would put on sale to make it more affordable for you? And just as examples of those things that are now,
you can buy a house on Amazon, can't you?
It used to be with Sears. I'm not sure with Amazon, but you can buy all the fixins.
You can buy a tiny home on Amazon.
Right,
now.
right. Yeah, exactly. 10 of Oprah's favorite things you can buy on sale during Amazon Prime. That includes Beats headphones, which are like 50% off. Barefoot Dream socks, which is a little pricey for me, for 3 pairs of socks for like $50. That's just beyond. And so if that was my thing, I'd say bring it down there. And an Amazon Kindle is also on sale. Megan Stallion has brought a whole new meaning to Prime Day
she's doing
deals.
like Amazon commercials now.
Yeah. And so she has given a whole new meaning to WAP. It's a wild Amazon Prime Day. And her merch includes booty shorts, skimpy bikinis, and the ultimate rock star shades. And as you mentioned, they have exclusive deals on her Hot Girls Summer Tour collection, and you can show off those red shorts that she made famous, as well as the booty bearing shorts are about $38, making it perfect for the any Meg fan, or as they say in their advertising, any freak nasty dancer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Also on Amazon, there are some impressive deals for those of you looking for things for your household utilities, products like vacuum cleaners, air purifiers, and hair tools that rarely go on sale. Dyson is known for their powerful vacuums, cordless vacuums, hair tools, and world-class air purifiers. Right now, the very best Dyson vacuums that rarely go on sale are discounted. There's a special deal, $170 off the Dyson V8 cordless vac. So that's
V8 Pro.
Yeah.
I saw that today.
Yeah. Did you buy it?
Absolutely not.
Okay. So for me, most of my purchases from Amazon are vitamins and supplements. And
oh, really?
That takes a hefty chunk out of my budget every month. So I would like to, and they did have some that I take that did go on sale today. So I would say, Mr. Amazon, because who knows him other than Jeff Bezos, Mr. Amazon. Would you bring down the price of vitamins, because that's some expensive stuff. So. Yeah. What about you? What's that one thing that you? Because we're within throwing distance of Christmas now. We're 5 months out. I know, and it's going quickly. So let's pretend that we're Christmas shopping, and they say, Cameron, what's on your list? And you say, Amazon, bring down the prices on what?
Well, I lost my AirPods the other day, so. I could use another pair of those, but that's pretty much it.
You're very practical, aren't you?
Dang. Oh, dang.
Yeah, that's what it is that I need, and like they have the GPS on them, so I had had tracked them to where it is that I had lost them, and I was asking the residents of the neighborhood if they had seen them, and they're like, "No, we haven't seen them." And I'm like, "Okay," but they're like literally right
But
here.
you're beeping. Your right pocket is beeping.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh no, we have to."
Never
like,
seen it. Never
like,
seen it.
You can't even use them. They're linked to my Apple ID. Like all Apple products are theft proof. So, anyways.
Well, I could, you know, hold the button down. You can switch any, but you can find them. You can find them, but you can definitely switch it over. I've grabbed just loose. I found like a loose AirPod, and I put it in my case, and I synced it to my case. I was like, oh, good.
Oh my God.
Like, it works.
Just like a crime that you lead, I swear.
Yeah, you know, and matter of fact, that's why if I go into my shopping cart right now, it's tech items. I love tech.
You are tech, yeah.
I am a tech head. So, you know, I have lights, I have cameras, I have microphones, wireless microphones. I have these wireless. It's like I bought some wireless microphones and I saw a new one. I'm like, ooh, I like that one too. And so I was like, I like wireless because I am the guy that Sybil. If I'm with Sybil Wilkes and we're somewhere, right? And then like an interview opportunity happens, I'm like,
bam,
action. Let me grab my backpack and let's go ahead and let's get rolling.
Lights,
everything. Just sit back. Give me about 15 minutes. We'll be ready to ride. You know?
Can't tell you how many men have said that to me, man. But I
waiting for it to kick in. Go ahead.
That's right. Besides the vitamins, I want a new television for my living room because I don't have one. So a television, and I would like a nice large screen television. I think I'm not sure. I don't need like 100 inches. That would just be greedy, wouldn't it, fellas?
But you really can't handle all that right now, could you?
That's what they say too, but that's not true.
I think 100 inches is unreasonable in any capacity.
See, the funny thing about
We're
Amazon.
Talking about Amazon.
Hey, the cool thing about Amazon too is like they have the Affirm stuff too, so you can like, hey, look, hey, I'll take my time. I'll take my time. I'm a patient guy. Send it to me, and I will spend that $20 a month until we pay this thing off. I am not a problem. So if you want to go get yourself 100 inches, Sybil Wilkes,
go ahead. I got 20.
Go ahead and do it. Put it on that Affirm. Affirm told me I got $3,000 worth of spending. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's see what I can do with it.
Okay. Well, okay. How about a 70-inch TV? How about that? I think that's.
You should be able to get a 70-inch TV. Honestly, you should be able to get a 70-inch smart TV for about $300.
Shut the front door. Does it?
I was going to say
a 70-inch,
but yeah, okay.
I'm telling you, $300, 70. Like that's where we're at right now. If you look up a 70-inch smart TV right now, you should be able to find one for between $300 to $400 right now. Wow. And if you go on Amazon, you should have a deal. Let me look right now. Go ahead. Speak amongst yourselves.
I'm looking 70-inch smart TV. Insignia. I'm not.
Yep. Insignia $379.
Yep. Hisense.
Well, that's that. Don't
Hisense is $23. Hisense.
That's like Walmart's in-house TV brand.
Yeah.
They're essentially like
$3,000. That's 100-inch. That's 100-inch. And 70 inches is 1,000. Samsung. We're not talking about Samsung. It won't be a Samsung 70-inch. It won't be a Samsung.
That's 1,000.
But you can get a 70-inch TV right now for $379. Will it be the best? It won't be the best, but it'll be big.
How long will it last me?
Say about.
I got a 50-inch TV that because once I get a bigger one, the other ones just cycle through the house. So I have one, and I still have TVs from like 6-7 years ago.
Oh wow! Okay.
They last. It's just
Okay. Mm-hmm. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's the question. You found out what we would like. Poor Cam is he's earbuds. Randall Andrews on Facebook, Apple products, but it's still not sale enough for me. That's true. It's
not. It really isn't. Yeah. Toshiba 65-inch, $329.99.
Okay. That's how Apple makes their money on people purchasing their products at full price,
Right.
like every so often. So
Yeah.
yeah, they're not going to drop the sale there. They
Aubrey
want their money
W
now.
on YouTube says the products I would love to see Amazon bring down. The prices would be headphones and sporting goods.
Aubrey, the Bose headphones. I have the Quiet Comforts.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you right now, there's a nice sale on that right now on Amazon because they're usually like $2.99 or $3.99, and then they're going for like $150 right now.
Nice.
That is a great deal to get a Quiet Comfort Bose. I'm telling you.
I miss my Bose radio, but I don't see those.
I'm a Bose person. I if I'm getting a speaker of some sort, it's going to be a Bose. It is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I just.
You cannot participate in Prime Day if you are not a Prime member.
Right. You can. But here's the deal: you can get that free 7-day Prime membership, and then get your deals, and then you can cancel.
You're not going to cancel.
Or just like ask a friend you trust.
Shirley Ann Tony Davis on Facebook says, "Go to Wally World for a good cheap television." I'm not familiar with. I feel like Yolanda with Big Lots. I'm not familiar with Wally World, but I'm assuming that's a regional. Is Wally World? Because that sounds like an East Coast kind of business.
Wally World is code for Walmart.
Okay.
Oh, you weren't joking. I thought you were joking. Yeah, no, that's Walmart.
No, I did not know. I just go where the people go. Welcome.
Yeah, no, it's now Quiet Comfort now is gone from $350 to $199. Still, I think it's a good deal for the Quiet Comforts. I love mine. I love mine.
Barbara Ferguson on YouTube, personal car air conditioner. So like a fan?
Is it?
You mean like a little private summer fan?
Yeah. How does that work? That sounds interesting.
That's how. If you look, her windows roll down like this.
Right.
My dad.
Barbara, I'm really curious if you could give us a little bit more on that. Is it really like because I bought fans for people like that. This is just a little round fan, and you just kind of
$13. The portable fans. I'm gonna get some of those too. That's in my cart as well.
In your cart. Okay. Well, yeah. See, Med is opening up his cart to you all, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm just letting you know. And then you have a whole bunch of. I have a whole podcast list of stuff. So if you're into podcasting, you want that list, I can give you out a list too.
Right.
Shopping my shopping thing. I'll do that thing. You can do that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm looking for a new vegan leather backpack. So I'm going to check out because I've had that in my cart for a long time. I'm going to see if they brought that down. So that I can have something to carry all of this massive equipment that Med gives me.
Yes.
To take with me.
Absolutely.
For every
I didn't know there was a vegan leather. I didn't know that was a thing.
They used to call it. Well, back in the day, it was pleather. I remember that, and or fake leather, and now they call it vegan leather.
Large women's backpack, vegan, $27.05.
There you go. Oh, Barbara Ferguson. Oh my God, my AC went out, and I live in Arizona. Oh,
and you don't have a car. Oh. You don't have a car. Okay.
Oh,
Barbara, you don't go outside. You don't go in your car for nothing. You understand me?
And if you need to, call me, and I'll get you an Uber. That's just.
Barbara, we're not going to play that game. We're not going to play that game. Not in Arizona. Absolutely not.
Oh, please, honey, no.
You have a garage? Please let me have a garage. Oh my God.
So this is a story that I was going to bring up the other day, and we didn't have time. People in Texas there's still some people who are without their power, right? And people have taken to living in their cars, and that's dangerous. They say it's cooler in their cars at night, but it's also dangerous because if you turn your car on, the possibility of exhaust, you may or may not have your windows down, or you may not be in an open area, and people are dying as a result of the exhaust fumes from their cars. So please be careful. I don't want to suggest that you do that because people are feeling the effects of that. And
that's
speaking
how,
of,
one of my great uncles passed. He pulled into his garage after work, and was still running his car in the garage, and decided to light up a cigarette, and he just suffocated. Yeah.
Oh my God. We had a friend of the family that his family found him in a situation like that in his car, and it wasn't a suicide. It was truly
it was the normal. Yeah. You come home from work and you're like, I need a minute.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you don't. Yeah. And
Yeah.
sometimes you fall asleep in that minute, and if your car's still running and the garage door is closed, it could be fatal.
That's it.
Mhm.
So thanks for playing along with me. Let's continue to think about our wish list for these things as we get ever closer to Christmas. And like I said, we're about 5 months out, and it will be here before you know it. And we're gonna see what we're gonna do about those wireless AirPods for you. Okay.
Oh, thanks.
And I know your sister is looking to fill up her apartment. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
So that was the question. Let's think in terms of, what do we want? What do we want if this world were ours? Let's move to trending. This is related to Khameron's earlier story. The Secret Service reportedly is beefing up measures after reports of an alleged Iranian threat on Donald Trump. A threat from Iran prompted moves by the Secret Service to boost protection around Donald Trump before Saturday's assassination attempt, which appears unrelated to the original threat, according to two U.S. officials.
I laugh at that, but
This is
don't tell me that you beefed up security before the man got shot.
right, and we know how lax it was.
I'm sorry, it's not funny. I apologize.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous that you put out that we beefed up security before that man got shot. And they left that building with the guy on the roof,
So what was security before it got beefed up? Was it just Barney Fife with his gun and his bullet in his pocket?
And then the White House said that this was a special security unit that was on the president. And they were like, no, they ain't. This is the normal people
for ex-presidents.
I was just like, this is comical.
This Secret Service thing,
I'm just, and then seeing Donnie with the dang bandage on his head. Yes, I'm sorry.
Looking like, who is the artist with the one ear?
He had the big old pad on his ear, and trying to soak up all the. I'm just like, sir, your ear.
The dramatics were just too much.
You didn't have anything on your ear when you went golfing.
Right.
So that was unnecessary.
Yeah.
You look silly. You didn't look presidential. You look silly.
Over your ear, and then kept saying to people, "What?"
And then falling asleep, sir.
And then there was that.
Come on, man.
Not even Amber Rose could keep him awake. Last week, Nikki Haley released her delegates 1 week ago, and tonight she will speak before the Republican National Convention. The question is, how do you think she'll be received? Because yesterday, longtime Republican leader Mitch McConnell was booed. And I don't know if he could hear it, but he was booed roundly by those. And all he was trying to do was say, and the great state of Kentucky has one delegate to give to, and he couldn't, nobody could hear what he was saying.
Don't worry about it. He was rebooted after it. He was good. He didn't hear. You don't remember none of that. They erased that from the memory banks.
Right.
I think anybody that Trump went after hard, they're gonna boo. They're gonna boo Nikki Haley. But tonight, they're gonna boo her. Absolutely. To be honest, there's not that many outside of Vivek. Vivek, I know he's gonna get there's a lot of Trump supporters that wanted Vivek to be his running mate. Yeah. So I expect him to get a huge, rousing, cheer and everything like that. But there's not that many people that are going to go up there, especially from the establishment that the Trump MAGA people want to see or really care for. And I guess that's something that I do agree with the MAGA people are, because I don't like none of them people either. I'm Mitch McConnell. Boo, Mitch McConnell. I'm like, boo that man.
What do you have against him? It's not the same thing. Trust me.
But boo that man. Go ahead and boo him.
That's one thing we can agree on. Booing Mitch McConnell.
That man. Yes,
not
sir.
For the same reason, but go ahead and boo.
But yeah, man. So it's just like you're gonna have like established people are probably not gonna do it outside of of course Tim Scott. American Lion, roar. Went
into Pennsylvania and the lion.
Yeah, they're gonna love Tim Scott because Tim Scott knows how to stay on the good side of MAGA. But outside of that, established folks ain't gonna get treated too fairly by the people. at the RNC?
So the interesting thing is that she gave up all of her delegates in 97 delegates. She won across a dozen primaries and caucuses earlier this year, and she released them and encouraged them to go to Donald Trump. Well, all of that's been done. That was done on the first day. This is the second day, and so they will. It'll be interesting to see how roundly she is booed, and what her future looks like. I mean, other people encouraged her to get out of that party, to get out of MAGA, because that's not where she belongs, and it's not a place for a woman, and especially an aggressive and smart woman like she appears to be. Maybe not by some of her decisions, but appears to be a pretty slick and smart chick. But it's going to be interesting to see how this all goes. A lot of people were surprised that he did not choose a woman. I never thought that it would be Nikki Haley because his memory is long. As I said in the newsletter, he tends to get in his feelings a lot about people.
Nikki did too much, did too many shots.
Right.
JD took shots, but JD can be forgiven.
JD took shots like he's like cocaine. He's like
Hitler. I'm like, JD took some shots. Okay,
he's like, I don't give a damn. And who in their right mind would ask me to be their vice president 8 years later?
JD took some shots, but I guess he could be forgiven. He's young, you know what I'm saying. But Nikki Haley, that it felt kind of personal. Yeah. And JD, I don't,
JD's coming with some big pockets because he in his investment days he worked with the tech sector, and so right after his nomination was announced as the vice president, Elon Musk, he said that he's going to get $45 billion. I don't know if he has that. I don't know if he has that. I don't even know if he has 450 after the way Teslas are selling these days.
Tesla's selling bad, and he bought Twitter for like what 30 something, crazy number.
But he is putting this money into one of the PACs, and millions and millions of dollars going into the PAC, as well as another one of the tech giants. So he's coming with some dollars that he probably couldn't even get with Burgum, who was a millionaire governor. So he's coming with some heavy pockets and the recommendation of Don Jr. Yeah.
Thank you, Don Jr.
The bearded bros, I think I started to call them, but I think they go steady now. But it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out.
I can see here's the thing about JD that's very interesting, because I didn't know much about the guy beforehand. All I knew, I didn't even know what he looked like. I just kept on seeing. Really? I just kept on seeing his name pop up when it came to defending Trump. I kept seeing his name over and over and over again when it came to defending Trump, and he was very loud and I'm like, who is this guy? And then I find out he's married to an Indian woman. I'm just like, and then he has the whole poverty. Come from poverty thing because
Appalachia, and his mama was an opioid addict.
I am telling you,
his mama and his papa.
Hillbilly Elegy. Okay, that was the name of his #1 selling book. A movie on Netflix.
Checked out the movie.
I'm telling you, like, he's going to be the guy that can say, he is the pull yourselves up by your bootstraps guy.
For people who don't have bootstraps, I mean,
he's like, if I can do it, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? I am a 39-year-old, trying to be the vice president of the United States, senator of Ohio, came from nothing. He's going to do all of that. Yeah. And with Republicans.
And this guy, he came with a silver spoon in his mouth.
And Republicans, you know how they're going to do. Black people, he's not black in color, but he was
his wife. You see the wife?
You get it? You see it? Yeah.
And one of
the president, he was shot. Black people, you should be able to relate.
His mama's got a record. Yeah. One of the kids' name is Vivek.
Yeah, that's the Indian in him.
Yeah.
Her.
And
him, her,
So I guess the Ramaswamy is going to be the godfather.
Oh boy.
It's going to be not only are they putting these two together, but how the whole cabinet and what that's going to look like with Project 2025.
It's going to be all of them. They're all going to be part of it because they were all part of. They're part of like the part of the group that created Project 25. Most of them came from his cabinet before.
Right.
Like they're all. If you look at all the names, they were all in the White House. So that's why whenever Donnie says, "Hey, I don't know what y'all talking about,"
right?
Sir.
Exactly. I know nothing. He's like Sergeant Schultz, but he knows enough, and the people that are pulling the strings know enough.
But what scares me, Sybil, is that I don't think any of this has made Black people want to vote even more. Like none of this, I feel like none of this is that, oh man, we better go vote. I still don't feel it. I feel like because we treat it like a joke, you know what I'm saying? I really feel like Donald Trump almost basically won the election with that stunt.
Yeah.
That happened the other day. And I'm just like, because I'm like, and I try to tell Black people, imagine if that was Obama. Imagine if Obama was on the trail and that's happened to him. Mm-hmm. Do you want to know that every Black person who didn't care about voting would come out and vote just because of that? Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There would have been no stopping that freight train if that had happened.
Right.
That's the same with these crazy ass MAGA people. If they thought that Donald was safe before, they're going to make sure that they're going to go out and vote. And I just don't think that we have enough Black people because, Democrats go as Black people vote. Mm-hmm. And if we do not come out and vote, they stand no chance.
And we talked about that at yoga today, and it really is kind of discouraging. But I mean, the more we say it, I hope that it doesn't become that self-fulfilling prophecy that people go, no, they're wrong. We are. I'm good. I pray.
I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't. I feel like we'll joke on these kind of things and not take it seriously, and then we wonder what happened. I'm like, if you didn't go vote, then I don't want to hear you. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't care. I don't care what Republicans say. I don't care how many defecting Black men are going to the Republican side. Mm-hmm. If Black people go out and vote, Democrats win. Right. Plain and simple. I don't care I don't care how many defective you have. Black people go out and vote en masse, Democrats win every time.
And if Amber Rose is symbolic of those folks going to vote for Donald Trump, I still think we're okay.
We're just fine because Amber Rose ain't Black.
Well, she let us know that last night.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She's biracial.
Yeah.
Didn't want to disrespect her white mama, just like the wife of the firefighter didn't want to disrespect her husband by taking a phone call by Joe Biden. Mm-hmm.
But he left a message.
That's nice.
But she did note that he did call and she got nothing from Trump.
Nothing.
And her husband went there as a Trump supporter. Wow.
He'll get around to it.
Yes. So check this out. Secret Service is on the case in somebody's household, somebody's neighborhood. This happened not too long ago, but it was regarding the Justice of the Supreme Court, Sonia Sotomayor. 2 deputy U.S. Marshals shot a would-be carjacker who pulled a gun on him while they were guarding the Supreme Court Justice's home in Washington, D.C. The marshals were parked outside of Justice Sotomayor's D.C. home last week when an 18-year-old identified as Kentrell Flowers allegedly walked up to one of their cars around 1:15 in the morning and pointed a gun at one of the federal agents. One of the agents drew his weapon and fired several times at the suspect, with the second officer also firing his weapon at Kentrell. Mr. Kentrell Flowers of Southeast DC was arrested and treated at a local hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. Where do they do that at? Usually when you're in a car and don't you shoot like here?
Yeah.
Supposed to be shooting center mass, yeah.
So I'm thinking non-life-threatening. Okay, all right. Justice Sotomayor was not home at the time. Okay, Sonia. And the Metropolitan Police detectives are investigating and recovered a semi-automatic handgun from the scene. The teenage suspect was charged with armed carjacking, carrying a pistol without a license, possession of a large-capacity magazine. Now, Secret Service last year assigned to President Biden's granddaughter, Naomi, opened fire on a group of people attempting to break into an unmarked Secret Service car. The agents found 3 people attempting to enter the parked car at her Georgetown neighborhood just before midnight in November, and they took care of things there as well. We should all have that kind of. I mean, granted, Secret Service wasn't doing the job for Trump, but they're doing right by by the Democrats. Maybe they switch parties or something. I don't know. Okay.
That's how the Republicans feel.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So those are some of the stories that are trending, and let us move to entertainment. Could there be a marriage between Jonathan Majors and Megan Good? You guys don't care. You can just say.
I mean, I haven't been like following.
So you know,
like
Jonathan Majors was in trouble for domestic abuse, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was on trial. Remember that part? And with the white woman. And so when he started the trial, he showed up for the pretrial hearings with Megan Good. He was there to support her friend Jonathan. Developed into a romance. And now he has told TMZ he's all in on proposing to Megan Good, who's been his ride or die throughout the legal drama. He mentioned both
one of those, like, she likes fixing people and like being responsible for people's healing type people. I can do it.
And people have made that charge. Yeah.
I don't know if she's like, because her last husband, he
was the fixer.
Exactly. He was trying to fix her.
Devon,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It
was Devon, wasn't it?
It was Devon. And I don't want to say it in a negative form. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's one of those things where, he's the guy that tries to help people. You know what I'm saying? So that was more so, that situation. So I don't really think of her as a fixer. I think of somebody that she just finds somebody she's comfortable with. And Jonathan was going through things. She was going through things, and they went through things together. I think this.
So
I honestly think this.
Bonded?
Basically, and I think that this situation is going to probably fizzle out eventually. It is what it is. I'm more interested in Common saying he would want to. He's going to marry somebody to be Jennifer Hudson. That's what I heard. That.
Yeah, I
was like, what? Common said marriage.
I think he's been away from that concept for so long. He's not even sure what that looks like. And I love Common. I really do.
Yes.
And he's a beautiful human being. I'm just not sure if that's. But I'm not sure about this one either. And Jonathan said that their families and friends have been super supportive, but it seems like Megan's crew needed a little bit more time to warm up to Jonathan. That's his reputation, preceded him. Yeah. She said that some friends advised her to stay away because of his legal issues. And of course, he was arrested last year for allegedly assaulting his ex-girlfriend, Grace, found guilty on 2 misdemeanor counts of assault and harassment, and acquitted of striking her in their rideshare. He was not sentenced to any jail time. So, you know what? I just want people to be happy. If that's your, if that's what you both want, whatever floats your boat, go ahead.
Do your thing.
Right. And if it doesn't work, as my mama used to say, that's why God made erasers. And move on to the next.
Yeah.
She said that about all 4 husbands. It's time for our jewel. Discipline is not about punishment, but about training oneself to follow a structured path. You both seem to be 2 gentlemen of great discipline. It's not about punishment, but about training oneself to follow a structured path. Would I be correct in sharing that jewel with you 2, and the assumption that you both are disciplined?
In different aspects.
Yeah.
Not in everything.
Yeah, I take my liberties elsewhere. I'm certainly like the 80th percentile of disciplined. Yeah.
Depends on what we're talking about.
Okay. And you, Med, how high a percentage are we talking about with you, my friend?
Depending on going to the gym, working out. 17.
Yeah. This is good.
Getting work done, 88, 85, it all depends on what we're talking about. Staying away from the bad food, 66. 70%. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Yeah,
let's
I
get
had
our
better
work done
teams.
tonight and show some discipline, shall we?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. We're
Thanks, Cameron. Thank you, Med. Have a great week. And everyone, thanks for joining us and playing along with our little Amazon Prime game. Let's do it again. Everyone, be careful, be safe, and stay cool and hydrated. Aloha.
Bye.
It's this, Med.